temporarily suspended due to non-payment.
My line suspended? Oh, that's why y'all can't call. Well, let's fix this. Look, y'all like, well, what is going on? My line suspended? I thought my bill wasn't due to the 20th.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the King and Reese episode, special edition. Happy Friday. How y'all feeling? Hope y'all are feeling good. I hope y'all phone for the AT&T customers is working. When I tell you my phone bill was actually due on Friday, I had to pay my bill Friday. I was like, hold on, girl. I have it scheduled to come out on Friday. What happened? Even though somebody got access to my business debit card and charged $400 worth of Lyft rides on my account. I have questions. But I hope y'all are having a good week, a good evening, however or whenever you are watching this. We got a lot of things to talk about. We got to talk about Tiffany Haddish tap dancing all the way to Israel. It's the fact that I told y'all 5 years ago, I don't know, it was a couple years ago, I told y'all about Tiffany Haddish. I really asked the question, is this, black excellence or whatever, like what is this that Tiffany Haddish is doing, because it's giving me chitlin circuit, and look what we have. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about Floyd Mayweather being dumb. What else is going on? Gotta talk about Porsha filing for divorce, season 16, The Housewives of Atlanta. She's going. There's been some rumors, some talks and stuff. We're gonna get to that. Kelly Rowland walking off of the set of Good Morning America, period. I don't blame her at all. She says, hey, I'm not gonna be talking about this. Make these plates for these men, because I'm not. Period. Her walkout, period. I don't blame her. We gotta talk about that. Gotta give some shouts to my girl Glorilla from Memphis, Tennessee, because the song Yeah Glow is eating for me. We gotta talk about Christopher Powderhead Brown just a little bit, because I got a full video on him on Patreon, period. Because the way I had to go in, it can't be said here. We also got to tap on y'all girl Monica's shoulder, because she consistently is always following the wrong man. I don't know what it is about her. Maybe it's in her DNA. So many other things, but before we do any of this, let's go ahead and get to this mental health check-in. Mental health is doing amazing. I feel really, really good, y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I haven't felt this good in years. I feel amazing. They're just like so much like a breath of fresh air in my body, and I'm just very thankful for that. The last 2 months, like y'all know, girl, the last couple of months, honestly, but December and January wore me out. And I can tell because, I told y'all about the being diagnosed with diverticulitis, and my stomach was just in pain for a week, and I was in a hospital for like 4 or 5 days. It was just a lot going on. The car situation and my car being stolen and getting it back, and just, all of the things that come with just trying to replace it, dealing with higher interest rates and being, harder to get credit. It was a lot going on, but I am so thankful to be in a better space. And I appreciate all of you all who have been reaching out via Instagram and all that. Like, I am still responding to all these messages from Instagram. Like, it's folks wishing me birthday wishes in August, and I'm just not. Like, it's just a lot. I get overwhelmed, but I do appreciate you all, even the patrons who comment, send me messages and stuff. Because one of them, Courtney, hey Courtney, said I need to be doing a review for this season of, what is it, Love is Blind? I'm thinking about it, but it'll be strictly for Patreon, because my girl Jessie Wu got Love is Blind content on lock. So I ain't trying to, I can't come for my sister wig, because she gonna snatch mine off. But it was a good episode. From what folks are saying, they would love to hear my thoughts, so I'll give you that. But other than that, I'm in a good place. I want to get to the tea. I want to talk about all the things, offer my perspective and my thoughts on some things, and let's get to it, period. So the tea for today is, shout out to Beyonce, #1 single, period. What is it, Old Town Road? Is it 16 Carriages or the Texas Hold Em? Whichever one. A blogger, girl, not me not knowing, am I a good content creator? Not really. So it was Texas Hold Em. I told y'all, the country, this ain't it, but period. Beyonce, first black woman to have a top country song, single, period. Texas Hold Em, the girls love it. I think Texas Hold Em, like #1, and 16 Carriages is like 40 or something. But, the girls, want 16 Carriages to catch up. But folks love Texas Hold Em, and just shout out to Beyonce for doing her thing and just breaking records as a black woman. We love that, and I'm very curious of how this is going to go the next couple of months, because there was issues with radio stations that play country not wanting to play Beyonce's music. So I'm just scared because I do not want this to turn into a black excellence. We got to stand up for things and do it. I get it because this is country music. Same thing that happened with Lil Nas X. This is country music. It should be played, period. This black woman is making country music. Do not be trying to deconstruct it, all the other stuff. Y'all allow everybody else to come into our culture and do all these other things. This is our culture, period. So there's nothing wrong with that. Texas Hold Em, she did the song. It's country, play it, period. But the folks are loving the song, and I'm loving that for everybody, period, as it should. Let's move on. Let's talk about Tiffany Haddish really quick, because I think as quick as I talk about her career will be on its way to its end, and I'm so thankful for that. So Tiffany Haddish got on Instagram and she said she is headed to Israel to see what the tea is about, and she has a drink in her hand and she is on a flight headed out. Now we see a video of her doing a comedy show in Tel Aviv and doing knock jokes. Not really surprised that she's shucking and jiving. Tiffany Haddish has been shucking and jiving since the beginning of her career. It gives that. I told y'all something about Tiffany Haddish just did not come off authentic. It just gave chitlin circuit. And I get sometimes that, black folks, we feel like we overjudge folks for just being themselves, but Tiffany Haddish just never gave me every day. She gave me that she overplays it. And I remember a lot of black comedians do it, because if we talk about our mainstream black male comedians, whenever they do jokes, and specifically when they do stuff for white audiences, stuff in white movies, they always talk in this particular tone. Kevin Hart has it, Eddie Murphy had it, not as much. I can't think of, but it's just the way, it's just very high pitched. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very high pitched and it's very animated. And I get, because I'm very animated in my videos and stuff, but I know that unfortunately for a lot of black folks, we do code switch. We do it. And it's a protective thing, protective spell or whatever. We do it to protect ourselves for survival. I get it. But the way they do it, it gives me something similar to that. And it just they just hype it up. So many things. But Tiffany Haddish, her tap dancing, I'm not surprised. She is a tap dancing raccoon. She's been doing it for a minute. This doesn't surprise me. The funds is probably drying up, so she probably took this check or whatever, and she said, F her morals. This is the same person who had chicken in her Ziploc bag on the red carpet. It ain't like she did that to, what's her name? It'd be different if she was eating it just girl, I just had a bag of chicken, I was hungry. She wanted to be known that she had the bag of chicken. And that's my issue with her. Fried chicken.
So for those who might be wondering and hey, why is it an issue for Tiffany Haddish to go get this bag to make this money in this country? It is because of the humane violations that Israel is currently doing right now to the Palestinian people. And they are using influencers or any black celebrities or anybody who is desperate for a check to clean up their PR online because it looks terrible. So they are using celebrities and bringing them in and posting them all on social media to make them seem human, while they literally are taking away human rights and violating humans in the middle of all of this. So, it just looks bad, period. And it's disgusting on her part to be used as a pun.
Girl, so she in Israel doing her big one, I guess. I don't know. She don't have it with her. Moving on, let's talk about the tea for today. Let's talk about Porsha Guobadia, or whatever it is. So Porsha has filed for divorce from Simon, and they have been together less than 2 years. Now, remember Porsha was being called out when she did that interview? Remember when she was on Tamron Hall, and Tamron Hall asked her about, when y'all getting married, when is the wedding? Porsha could not get, Porsha just didn't know what to say. So they've been together for 15 months. After 15 months, they didn't call it a split. And Porsha is filing for divorce a day or so after the news broke about him being a former scammer and him being denied his citizenship because of things he's done in his past, and shady business practices and scamming, all of the things. And the federal government, U.S. government said, hey girl, we don't know about giving you no permanent visa because girl, the stuff that you did in the past, we don't trust you. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. And the federal government, all these scammers we got here, child. And she had just posted 5 days before that she called this man her ride or die. Like, she called him a ride or die. And I guess the wheels then fell off and she walking back to where was she at? Sandy Springs, where she stayed. And, oh God, I am going to be honest. I was never really sure about their relationship. It honestly gave, friends. It gave relationship. It never gave romantic. It gave, hey girl, let's do this together. Let's both get visibility from each other. The way I saw Porsha and Simon is the same way I saw Dr. Gregory and Quad. Like, there was just no chemistry. You ever looked at some folks who just like, I don't see any chemistry? And I know it's hard because, we're not sure. Like, some folks, you're not gonna be able to read it. We can't read energy. Even though homegirl on Twitter was trying to read that energy off that librarian, that went all the way left. Ooh, so many comments on that. But the harassment that she's dealing with is very disgusting. But yes, the chemistry just has never been there for me. I've never seen it. And Simon, just every time you see them teeth, and he was just smiling, just happy to have some, some screen time. I'm not really surprised by seeing the scammer conversation and stuff, because I did a video recently, and it's on Patreon, about the Atlanta scene just not being real. And I might do a clean version for YouTube. I just don't know for right now, because it might hurt some feelings. But Atlanta's just not real. And I'm not saying the city of Atlanta. I'm talking about Atlanta TM. The celebrities, all these folks pretending like they got money. Everybody's driving a G-Wagon. Everybody's just super rich, super wealthy, driving this and living here and wearing all these expensive clothes. And it's just like, we find out things like this. A lot of these folks are living beyond their means. I mean, we all are some way, shape, or form. Just read a report that said that 60% of Americans are living check to check. And that is not our fault. That is, the fault of wages not meeting other things. Like, these things are expensive. Housing is expensive. I just had a conversation with somebody today about like having a child. It was like, oh, children are not that expensive. Yes, they are. It's a lot to have a child. And that's why, younger generations, younger couples are not having kids. Like, birth rate is steady coming down because people do not want to spend that money. I don't know too many people that I am friends with who are in long-term relationships, married, whatever, who have kids. They have dogs. And I got fish. It's too expensive. If I was to have a child, honestly, right now, I would have to cut my lifestyle. I would have to let some things go. That's why if I was to have a child, I need some more money, because I want to live a specific lifestyle, be comfortable. Even when you factor in putting money for retirement, because girl, we don't know what's happening with Social Security the next 20, 50 years. We do not know. All of these things make me nervous because I don't know what the economy is going through. UK or Britain is dealing with a recession right now. We in one, we just don't want to call it that right now, but it's a lot going on. Like, wages are not keeping up with the cost of living. And even the quote unquote cost of living, somebody talked about that on Twitter today, and I appreciate it. The other day they said that the fact that we are out here saying cost of living, think about that. Cost of living. It is costing us money just to live. Just to live. We have to pay money to live. We have to participate in capitalism, be exploited to live. To live, y'all. And we are not living. We're barely surviving. We've been passing on the same $10, $20 since 2020. And some of us don't have the $20 to give back. It's a lot. So Atlanta, going back, because y'all know I'll be going on a tangent. Atlanta is just not a real place. All these celebrities in Atlanta that are not necessarily even from Atlanta have created this culture of just fakeness, and it's disgusting to me. And I just do not want to be around it. Like, I just don't want to be on the socialite scene. I'm not sure about going to any more premieres and things. That's just not something I'm interested in doing. I'm more interested in building community with other folks, everyday people. I don't want to be around these folks because our politics don't match, and I do not want to get in the room and be headbutt. Because listening to some of these folks, how they just want to continuously exploit black folks, people who look like them, people who make less than them, like continuously exploit them while wanting these folks and needing these people to love them to feed into their quote unquote empires. I can't do it. So that video is on Patreon. Atlanta is not a real place. And somebody commented on Patreon and they kind of got me together, and I appreciate it, saying that it's not Atlanta, it's the people who moved in for bigger opportunities. And that includes my ass too. That's why I think it's important for me to understand, and while talking about this, that I don't like this energy. I don't like this. I didn't come here for that. I didn't come here for that. Like, I thought that's something I wanted at one point, but I do not want to sell my quote unquote influence and my platform to celebrities just to be connected to them, just to have access to these things. And a lot of folks unfortunately do it. And they get in these rooms and they can't, like, they want to be invited next time, so they're not going to be critical or even be able to speak on some things. And I just cannot do it. It just won't allow, I can't do it. So yes, it doesn't surprise me again about Simon. Porsha filing for divorce. She already knew what was going on. Like, you can't tell me, go back to what you said about red flags. She knew something. Like, you married to this man, something ain't adding up. Something's not making any sense. We don't know. But season 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta is gonna be, it's gonna be something. I don't know if this story is strong enough, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to spend half of the season or majority of the season talking about their split. I don't want that. I want to see Porsha and her friends and the other cast have fun, have some good moments. I don't want a manufactured storyline. I don't. We call Kenya out on it, and I'm not saying that this story is manufactured, but I think it's quite interesting that this story is coming out after she just got told she's coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, Porsha was coming back. People are trying to drag Porsha and say that Porsha came back to Real Housewives of Atlanta because she needed the money because, you know, Simon ain't got it. I'm gonna tell you what was really going on. Bravo didn't have the money to afford Porsha. Porsha did not want to come back. Porsha went out and did her, you know, her other stuff and whatever. Same thing that Nene did. And the numbers, because we know the numbers have went down from Bravo paying these folks, Porsha was not coming back for that coin. And you can just tell her, I can feel it. I ain't had no conversations with her, but I can feel it that the numbers were not right for her to come back. She couldn't justify coming back. The deal that she signed with NBC Universal, and, you know, whatever pay that Bravo agreed to give her, she came back. I do think that we're gonna play it up for cameras. I think that does happen. I don't think that she's leaving Simon. Like, some of y'all just don't like Porsha. That's what it is. And I need y'all to be, like, check y'all bias. Like, I'm checking mine. I don't want another manufactured storyline about divorcing. We've done that with Kenya divorcing Mark for 5 years. Like, they were divorcing longer than they were together. I'm just not interested in it. I want to see other stuff. Like, I'm just tired. Period. So moving on. Love that for her. Whatever. A blogger. Let's talk about Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland walking off set of Good Morning America. Apparently, the dressing room that she was given wasn't up to par. And they asked her about Beyonce. And it is disrespectful to continuously ask this dark-skinned woman who is doing her own thing about her friend who happens to be light-skinned and, you know, is, like, well known. It is disrespectful, and y'all need to stop doing it. It is unprofessional, and I do not blame Kelly Rowland for walking off. I am coming to promote my stuff, the movie that I am in. Do not, like, that's disrespectful. That is disrespectful. Like, and, you know, it's a joke, you know, and I think Kelly Rowland has played into it. Like, you know, when folks ask, like, shh. And we give Kelly Rowland her props and stuff for having the media training and responding to these things, but she should not have to do this. She shouldn't have to always do this, and I don't blame her for like coming out and, you know, walking out. Like, you gonna disrespect me? Peace, I'm gone. I'm walking out. Like, because I know my worth, period. I don't blame Kelly Rowland for doing that at all. There's been some type of backlash a little bit because somebody else tried to ask her what happened with that. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't have to talk about it. And I think Bethany Frankel, I don't know. I don't pay attention to white women who look like ankles. I don't pay attention to them. So Bethany was talking mess, apparently, and talking trash about Kelly Rowland. And all it boils down to is be happy that you are in the room. It's the same thing that Monique talked about. Be happy that we invited you even to be here. You should be grateful. We can ask you whatever we want to. That's the energy that Bethany was giving. That's the energy that Bethany Ankle was giving. I'm tired. Kelly Rowland had every reason to walk out, because if Kelly Rowland does not walk out, the black women who are coming after her will have to deal with that same mess. So someone has to be the bigger person and say, no, I can't do this.
Baby, listen. It's not enough.
It's not enough. Speaking of walking out, let's talk about brain cells walking out of Floyd Mayweather's brain. So Floyd Mayweather was doing an interview with The Pivot, and in this interview, he basically just said that what Diddy did was a mistake, and compared the stuff that Diddy has been accused of to a mistake. Not surprising. Mistakes happen, and I can't say if it is or if it's not a mistake, but things happen in life, and P. Diddy business is P. Diddy business. It's not my job or anyone's job to go on the internet and stomp him and kick a man when he's down. My take on it is not my business. I don't think it's right at all, and I don't condone it. This makes absolutely no sense. You just said you don't condone it, but it was a mistake. I don't get how a mistake is continuously happening. How, like, you keep doing the same thing and you don't acknowledge it until somebody else tells you. And then even then you try to talk down to them to say these things. It doesn't make any sense, Floyd, but I know it doesn't make sense for you because it's not clicking ever for you. So to say that what Diddy did was a mistake, like, oh God, he goes on to say, even if that happened to my daughter, I would be hurt, but that's the choice that my daughter made. When I tell you, these men, the weakest link. So I don't want to kick nobody while they're down. So it's okay for them to do the stuff, to kick a person and take advantage of them or whatever. Like, and folks were going off and say the reason why Floyd has so much quote unquote grace for Diddy is because he does the same thing. Somebody tweeted, Candace Sinclair on Twitter tweeted, Floyd Mayweather has a history of physically abusing women, so his response is not surprising at all. Implying your daughter being abused as a choice she made is not only disgusting, it's intentional, period. Like, period. And it just gives us a window into the type of person that Floyd Mayweather is. That was a better way to answer the question or whatever and talk about this. Like, Diddy doesn't have any capital right now, any social capital right now. It's drained. He could say whatever, like in this interview. Like, it's not going to quote unquote backfire or whatever. You could have said whatever. Y'all choose not to. Y'all choose not to. But in the same way, if it's a woman or even any little thing that a woman, you know, is doing, y'all want to jump down their throats. Like, it's just, oh my gosh. And 50 Cent chimed in and dragged Floyd Mayweather, and I don't even trust 50 Cent because 50 Cent be disrespectful to black women too. Like, he be very disrespectful to black women and talks about black women like a dog too. All of them. Burn them up! That's all I got on that. Floyd Mayweather is an idiot, but we already knew that. Moving on, let's talk about Christopher Powderhead Brown. So Christopher Brown, Chris Brown, Breezy, is upset that the NBA did not invite him to perform. He's like, it's a scheme that Todd set up to come to me, and y'all still talking about old stuff. The same story we've heard over and over again, and people coming and say, oh y'all, this stuff that Chris Brown did, like even Chris Brown, Chris Brown is ahistorical. He never wants to acknowledge ever what he did. Like, even in the post on social media, he's not even giving the right age of when he did these things. Chris Brown, you were grown when you did these things. Like, they're trying to paint it as Chris Brown was like 14, 15, 16 years old. Like, Chris Brown at the time of this situation was 18, if I'm not mistaken, 18 or 19 years old. Chris Brown posted this: "If y'all still hate me for a mistake I made as a 17-year-old, please kiss my entire bleep." This incident happened while he was 19. Folks are even trying to say, well, he was 18. No, he was 19 years old. Keep trying to make it seem as though he was like some young black boy and like da-da-da. And let's say, just for a quick second, that the incident never happened. Let's say the incident never happened. Chris Brown has had a consistent history of harassing women. He even got on a Instagram video and posted and said that he will be that toxic man that you ain't leaving. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be stalking you. I'm gonna be doing all that. You ain't kicking me out. Karrueche even had to file a restraining order on him. He's been harassing her. Like, he has consistently been this person, even without it. That is something that happened years ago, but he has consistently been in incidents with women. It hasn't been as bad as the Rihanna situation, but there's been other things that he has done over time. And we keep going back to this ahistorical, oh, he was 16. Y'all gonna say he was 12. 10 years from now, y'all gonna say it never happened. People have came up with so many stories to try to blame Rihanna for this incident. Oh, she was doing something, she was getting his face, or she exposed him into an STI. It's just so many stories because y'all can't think for a second that this man, this boy, did this when he was 19 years old. Like, get over it. Like, I'm tired. Like, there's a timeline of Chris Brown history of violence towards women. This is in 2016. September. This was written, 8 years ago? Rihanna abused, February 2009. Robin Roberts interviewed, 2011. 2 years after being charged with battery, Chris Brown sat down with Robin Roberts for an interview on Good Morning America. When the host asked Brown about the domestic abuse case, the singer reportedly stormed off the set and he had broken a window in his dressing room. Phone robbery, 2012. While attending a club in Miami Beach, Brown became upset when he noticed a woman taking a photo of him outside of the club. According to Crystal Shanae Span's police report, the singer had snatched the phone from her hand through her car window to avoid any photos being leaked to tabloids and then drove off with them. He was accused of 1 count of robbery. June 2013, in Orange County, Brown experienced another club-related altercation when Deanna Gaines accused him of shoving her to the ground. She claimed she would need surgery following the incident that left her with torn ligaments in her right knee. Bus assault, 2015. During a video shoot in Colorado, Brown forcibly ejected a woman from his bus when she refused to give up her cell phone. The woman, who was not part of the shoot, also claimed her phone was broken and filed a police report for third-degree assault. Las Vegas face punch, 2016. Brown avoided charge after a woman accused him of punching her in the face and taking her phone in Las Vegas nightclub. She claimed that she had been trying to take a photo with Brown during a private party before the assault occurred. And it's more stuff. Recently, even the incident with Usher and Tiana Taylor at the bowling alley. Like, girl, like, it's consistently that. Period. It's everybody else but Chris Brown. Like, no type of accountability. He does not have to, because he has money and a little bit of talent and he's light-skinned and desirable. Because if it had been anybody else, we would have thrown him to the wolves. They're trying to compare him to Jonathan Majors. Like, oh, he did with these women. Like, girl, we don't need to compare. Both of them are trash. Both of them are trash. Keep your hands to yourself. Check your anger at the door. Check your anger. Go through your stuff. Like, y'all are not getting yourselves together. Y'all want to be men, but y'all do not want to take accountability, because a real man takes accountability for his actions, period. And that's something that Christopher Brown has not done and refuses to do. So there's nothing else to work with. Child, I don't know what else to say, but Christopher Powderhead Brown just repeatedly, just over and over again, just does not want to do better. And I hate that for him. Girl, moving on, AT&T. Girl, the phone lines was down, honey. I was shook it. I was like, girl, is my line suspended? I was shook like everybody else when my phone line was down. And I just new. I got a bill coming out today. So what's going on? Like, what's the tea? But come to find out, AT&T experienced an outage. 75% of their customers across the nation like experienced an outage. We still don't know what happened. Girls were saying a solar flare. Some folks were saying hacking. We don't know. We don't know. And I have questions. I have so many questions. That was weird. It had me shook, like, cause I had honestly watched, what was it, Leaving the World Behind, and an incident like this happened on Leaving the World Behind on Netflix. It was a good movie. I loved it. Probably gonna watch it again. I think that's all I got. I want to tug on Monica's wig a little bit, cause Monica, for some reason, just consistently just wants to defend trash men. She was defending Chris Brown. She was trying to defend her throat against them notes that was struggling to come out. Girl, just a video of Monica that's circulating online, and her voice just sounds terrible. That's y'all girl, though. That's y'all girl. There's a let me not, because y'all know I was about to be shady. I'm going to try not to. That's the reason why one of them was deemed the vocal bottom. Because one of them can sing it. The other one just know how to be relatable. That's it. But girl, that's all I got. Trash on more trash. I hope y'all are enjoying y'all day, night, whatever. Enjoy your weekend. Love y'all so much. And until next time, I'll talk y'all later.